Maybe we can do a better job of following what Megyn Kelly has to say about the Capitol riot. So apparently she's trying to downplay it. This is on her podcast.
Made it. I got here eventually. And so, you know, I didn't get any real blowback from going to the November rally or December. But with January,
So this is the person you're hearing right now is this comedian Chrissie Mayr.
because I was like, let me just see if they cover it January 6th the way they covered November and December. You know, they would do, the mainstream media would do like an early morning flyover, like 6 a.m. before anybody really assembled. Like, oh, look, there's 40 people here. This is a non-event. So I was really curious to see how they would cover it. And I remember I just, you know, again, I'm doing interviews. I'm just sort of man on the street, had my camera out. It was like so cold. And it just bothers me because I was there, and anybody who was there on the 6th is like blown away with how inaccurate the media coverage is. It's like, at this point, it's like, I don't want to listen to anybody's thoughts on the 6th unless they were like there.
I streamed it live. I was watching, I had a dual screen of the House and the Senate while it was going on. And then over here on my other screen, I had the protesters. We watched the whole goddamn thing. Don't try to gaslight me.
Like physically there, because it just was not a big deal.
If you were physically there, you might be a little biased as to not implicate yourself into, you know, treason. Just saying.
Like I have this tweet. Oh, it was after, I forget his name. This guy like donated his suit to the Smithsonian, the suit that he wore on January 6th. And I had this tweet.
That was kind of stupid.
There was more carnage at my first period, which I know is a horrible, but I was making.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'll give her that. That's a funny joke.
A symbol of hope and resilience and a story of light on one of the darkest days in our democracy. He donated it to the Smithsonian.
They have the, here is the actual tweet here. Congressman Andy Kim. That's the suit that he wore on January. That is stupid. I wish that Democrats didn't give Republicans such great ammo. That's fucking stupid, dude.
Smithsonian, because he'd been wearing it in a photo of him cleaning up the Capitol after the fact. And, you know, now the Smithsonian has apparently accepted it. So, yes, okay. So I see your point about the carnage.
Yeah. I mean, it's horrible. Like Ashley Babbitt was murdered. Should not have happened. But, like, for a group of people who could have come fully armed to the Capitol, they didn't. It was extremely peaceful and chill.
They planted bombs. Ashley Babbitt was climbing through a broken window feet away from congressmen where they've been chanting, "Hang Mike Pence."
And most of us didn't even know what was happening until like hours later, until like 4 or 5 o'clock when we were leaving. And I remember on my way when we were walking to the Capitol, because it was nothing Trump ever said. It wasn't like, "and charge." It wasn't like a scene out of Braveheart where he was like telling us what to do.
He literally said, like, we'll march to the Capitol.
There was a schedule of events like there was with every rally. You know, a little graphic circulates before you go there. Like, okay, this night is this person speaking here, and tomorrow it's, you know, it was planned. So I remember the night before, it was like there were speakers happening in one area, and then the morning of, it was like, okay, we're all going to meet. What is it called? The ellipsis or something. Someone was, you know, we had been out there since like 8 a.m. and then Trump was supposed to speak at 11. He didn't start speaking till 12.
Of course.
We're getting cold, and we're like, all right, we can't really stay and hear this whole speech. So the next march point, the next pre-planned event was like, okay, we're all going to march to the Capitol. It was nothing like him going, "charge." You know, it was just, that was the next.
She just admitted we were going to march to the Capitol.
I tweeted out just a little bit of video, and it was me saying like, all right, marching to the Capitol or something like that. And one of these New York City like woke comedy bookers took it, retweeted it with a comment saying like, "I don't know what comics in LA are doing, but here in New York, they're storming the Capitol." And this was a woman like I don't work with, I'm not friends with. It's like, they use it to virtue signal. It's like, you don't even know what was going on. Like, you don't even know that it was like,
ma'am, just you being there on January the 6th, that was the, like, much larger virtue signal. I wish right-wingers had a fucking shred of self-awareness.
mostly the most chill thing ever. It was like people had blankets and picnics and families and
where they beat cops and reporters and chanted "Hang Mike Pence." This is the most chill thing ever.
But you know, we've all seen the video of people like screaming in the face of cops, being totally disparaging, and you know, defecating on the floor of the U.S. Capitol.
That's
and
crazy.
You know, lawmakers were understandably afraid. You know, not like
Yeah. They shit on the walls of the Capitol. They marched with a fucking Confederate flag through the rotunda. What the fuck?
AOC, I need therapy for the rest of my life, afraid. But I could understand it, and I didn't like seeing it at all. That's our Capitol. Get the hell out of there. Have some respect. Don't threaten the cops. Screw you. You know, the MAGA crowd is supposed to be pro-cop. You know, and you don't get in their faces and yell at them and say that, you know, all this shitty stuff, which I heard, you know, with my own ears.
That's
but
crazy.
That
Yeah, I
doesn't
didn't
mean
see any of that. Yeah.
that doesn't mean that's what the entire crowd was there for, intended to do. So they got tarred by the actions of like some losers who went a different way. And
They should be. And that's all the right-wing media does, is try to tar the entire left as these violent protesters, the BLM rioters. That's all the fucking right-wing media does. You hypocrites. Yeah, fucking acting like it wasn't a big deal. Ma'am, just like our friend earlier, you are upholding a system of white supremacy. Because it was the same people. Just like I've shown you guys, the guy that attacked the Capitol in Nashville during the BLM protests was a white supremacist. The group that burnt down the Minneapolis Police Department was a Boogaloo Boy white supremacist group. And then they take those people who are on the right and paint the left as violent. It has to be a character I'm playing. No. I'm 100% me. And it's U apostrophe R-E as in you are. Would you like to talk about it? I take calls or Discord. The link is down below. The number is 917-830-4359. They have painted the left as violent when it's the right doing all the violence. The vast majority of it. Not saying that the left isn't capable of violence. That would be a logical do that around here. I sure would like to talk to the person who thinks I'm playing a character. That would be a fun discussion.
Health and wellness is something that's always been very...
Oh shit, we're gonna have to sit through an ad. My fucking NBC. We're gonna watch a clip of Representative Adam Kinzinger, one of the only Republicans who actually stand up for the truth and call people out. And he's getting ready to call out his party and say that, you know, the truth is going to come out about exactly what happened on January the 6th. On Meet the Press over the weekend.
January 6th. I think it's safe to say on January 7th that a majority of people, even in Congress, Republicans in Congress, thought, okay, this was going to be the turning point. This was going to be the moment that Republicans realized Trumpism is a...
When the fever breaks, as Obama said. Fuck no.
Here we are 6 months and 5 days later, and boy, and let me read you this headline in Oklahoma. This is a censure resolution in Oklahoma, not for people that voted to impeach like you did. This resolution is to censure Senators James Lankford and Jim Inhofe, for failure to delay the certification of fraudulent electoral votes in the 2020 presidential election. That's the actual wording in this county Republican.
Inhofe.
And just so you think I'm not picking on one county in Oklahoma, the actual chair of the Republican Party has endorsed a primary challenge.
Now, I do want to point out that they are like turning on each other. Abbott in Texas has a challenger from the right, not just Matthew McConaughey, possibly. But fucking, like, they're not Trumpy enough for their base. And I think it's going to hurt them. Just looking at the 2022 election, I'd been saying for months that it was likely that the Democrats were going to lose. I'm starting to think that, you know, the more Trump gets involved and the more Trump splits the Republicans, I think the Democrats may actually win. And win kind of big. I don't know. I think Trump is good for Democrats. Because otherwise, the centrist Democrats don't have anything else to run on. They don't have a record. They don't have policy. So they have no way to motivate people. Going up in front of your constituents and saying, hey, I'm just going to go up and do what, like, all Exxon wants me to do. Like, that isn't appealing. So, with absent Trump, they're definitely going to get slaughtered. But if Trump is sticking his nose into the races, I actually think the Democrats stand a pretty good shot of picking up seats in the House.
To James Lankford over this issue. Senator Lankford was standing up there to object to the electoral votes in Arizona when Vice President Pence was taken off the Senate floor. Senator Lankford is a traitor now inside Trump's Republican Party, Congressman? Seriously?
Oh, look, here's what's happened. It's just like Donald Trump's method, right? I mean, the biggest enemy to MAGA world right now is not even me or Liz Cheney, it's Mike Pence. Mike Pence is one of the most faithful people to Donald Trump. But if you ever turn an ounce against Donald Trump, you're out of the tribe. And so to all of my colleagues in politics, let me say this to you. You either have to be a zombie for the MAGA belief system, whatever that is today.
You got to add the TDS.
Based on Donald Trump's whims, or actually stand up and tell your constituents the truth. And that's what we have to do, is tell people the truth. We all know what the truth is. You guys know what the truth is. The American people and your base deserve to hear it. So that's the moment we're in. Just this kind of chaotic, people scared to do anything, scared of their own shadow, absolutely desperate to get reelected. And meanwhile, the innocent people of our base that in many cases have been led to believe that the election was stolen is not hearing anything from any of the people that they trust.
Well, the U.S. is severely warped, so I... Because you, like, that conditional logical proof you made there. Like, that condition is like, the U.S. is severely warped. So, bad people don't pay for their bad deeds, usually. Some do, though. Kind of like this pizzeria owner. Maybe. They might be brought to justice regarding the January 6th riot. Apparently, it's a truly bizarre defense. A Pennsylvania woman who allegedly stormed the Capitol and told a police officer to bring Nancy Pelosi out here now. We want to hang that fucking bitch. Sorry, Twitch. I didn't mean to do that. That wasn't me. That was a quote. Has filed court documents claiming to be a divinely empowered entity immune from laws.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Yeah. Pauline Bauer, a Pennsylvania pizzeria owner, is accused of multiple counts of violent entry, disruptive conduct, and obstruction of Congress after she allegedly broke into the Capitol on January the 6th. Prosecutors allege that Bauer tried organizing buses to transport people to D.C. for a rally that preceded the riot, and that while in the Capitol Rotunda, she told police that she wanted to kill House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. But in what experts describe as an inadvisable legal strategy, I'd say Bauer has demanded to represent herself in court, appeared to threaten a court clerk with prison time, and declared herself a self-governed individual with special legal privileges. Bauer does not simply appear in court. She clarified during a June 11th proceeding via Zoom. "I am here by special divine appearance, a living soul," she told a judge that day, while stating that she did not want an attorney. What audio am I playing? I'm confused now, RB. "I do not stand under the law," she said. Under Genesis 1, or I don't know. God gave man dominion over the law. Reached for comment, Bauer's court-appointed lawyer confirmed that she had been tapped as Bauer's standby counsel. Declined to comment further. Bauer could not be reached for comment last month. She served 1 night in jail for contempt of court. It's a form of a sovereign citizen, but this one's got a little theological twist to it. She was set free after she verbally agreed to the court's pretrial release conditions. I think she needs to be evaluated, which included turning over her guns to a relative. But her unusual legal tactics appear far from over. In one of the documents filed last week, Bauer listed a series of strange alternative spellings of her name in a document that she incorrectly claimed freed her from some government control. Yeah, the Anti-Defamation League goes into the sovereign citizens movement there. I pulled this from the Daily Beast if anybody wants to go back and read the whole thing. Clearly very interesting. Hey. Right-wingers are morons.